One fine afternoon on a COTD, the entire world was caught by Kidani's evil ploy to release two of the greatest weapons on planet Earth. He caught an entire assembly of Yasuie players down bad 4 times. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Mr. 4 here. Today we are here to cover Shikigami user Ryougi. I'm trying my best not to look at the art because I know people are laughing, but as you probably guessed, I cannot afford such privilege. So today we have Fade of Off.
I'm not down bad, I swear.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, so today we are here to cover Ryougi. Ryougi offers you 2 options when playing the deck. I mean, there's a few ways you can build Ryougi because it's interesting. You see this and you do not think of a Stealth Fiend deck, and yet it is. So it's really quite interesting. You can either build it in a more Stealth Fiend method, or you can build it more towards playing around her core. To me, I believe in the best of both worlds. Bring back literal Satan in order to have a very fun and balanced game plan. So, for those of you who don't know stuff about Shadow Stitch, it's time you learn because we are going global with this. So our grade 3s, we play 4 Shikigami user Ryougi and 4 copies of Shiyayuki. That's it. We don't play Hyuga, we don't play the one-eyed Yundo.
Platinum, Blonde, Fox Spirit.
We don't
Tamago
or Tamamao, sorry, Tamago is an egg. We don't really play any of that, so yeah, let's break it down. I'm gonna let Faye explain the 2 reasons why he enjoys this card.
Okay, so the 2 big reasons why is that number 1 is the first skill. The skills are very synergistic with each other, especially for Excel deck, especially for Murakamo, which is a deck that honestly hasn't really had much board swarming ability since Yasuie. So, her first skill is an act ability once per turn, counter blast 1. You look at the top 5 cards of your deck and you choose 1 Stealth Fiend from among the top 5 and call it to a Regard Circle. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, you call 2 instead of 1. So automatically for 1 counter blast, you already plus 2 onto the board. And then for all your Stealth Fiends all have additional effects that will benefit you later on. So no matter what you get from the top 5, it's most likely going to be something good that can help your aggression. Her second ability is that every time a unit is called through her ability, so either her first skill or her third skill, that unit will gain this unit's name. So it's so it's more like Asha in that sense, rather than stuff like Hyuga, where he changes everyone to becoming Hyuga. It's like Bloom basically. You inherit another person's name, so you have your own name, and you also have Ryougi's name. So but that will come into effect when you look at the support cards. But just keep that in mind for now. It's only from her ability cards that are superior called gain that name. And her last skill is where the Shadow Stitch referencing that we've been making comes into play. Is at the end of the battle that her attack did not hit. In Soul Blast 2, you choose now the Stealth Fiends from your drop zone equal to the number of additional Regard Circles that you have, so basically number of Excel markers you have, and you call Stealth Fiends from your drop zone to all of your Excel markers.
So, on first glance, you're like, hey, this sounds like Gurgit. Do we have a Percival? No, thankfully not yet. So this card is just a lot like Gurgit. It scales really well per Excel. So on turn 3 it's more like if you don't take this attack, you can just spawn a Stealth Fiend for your 1 Excel and do 1 more attack. And that's fine on the turn 3 basis. But then you reach turn 4 and turn 5 and turn 6, and if you've been able to rewrite your Ryougi SPs over and over, that's going to be more Excel, which means every time the Vanguard attacks, it's getting increasingly threatening. So Ryougi is really a card that really just scales. It's a lot like Gurgit, but because we don't really have a Percival to directly be our wheelchair to victory, instead what we aim to do is try and focus more on the early game. We do more grade 2 gaming style stuff. We have more aggressive options, so it kind of still feels like it. Ryougi in a way is based on Shadow Stitch. Shadow Stitch is also a keyword that's kind of linked to one of my favorites of all time, which is Dragonic Descendant, in the sense that as long as the attack doesn't hit, something will happen. So the more damage your opponent has, the more likely he is to think twice about whether he wants to let you gain your Shadow Stitch or not. So really, the entire name of this game is just to make sure your opponent doesn't get that choice. You need to gridlock him and make sure he feels the pain and choke him out with your... Okay, never mind.
Yes.
And then, of course, we have Satan. I mean Ryougi. Ryougi has a lot of skills for very skilled players like us. No, I'm kidding. When placed on V or R or G, you Soul Blast 2, you choose 3 of your opponent's front row units, it gets -5. If it's placed on V or G, it gets -10 instead of -5. So defensively, this is really your backbone, but don't let that fool you. Offensive Yasuie plays the true strength of this card. And that is that you can actually stack this offensively. And you'll be saying, hey, Soul Blast 2, this takes Soul Blast 2, that's very expensive. It is, but knowing how Ryougi gained her own deck in V selection, which is all about Soul, Ryugi also has her own support based on Soul. So really the whole deck just works together. It's the best of two very horrible and painful worlds. And you just have an entire Soul-based deck that also has a global Shadow Stitch. The second skill of Ryougi is when her attack does not hit, you choose a copy of herself from the drop zone and add it back to the hand. You're never using the skill because you need to be writing the good stuff. So yeah, but I guess it's just good for you to be aware of while playing this deck. We are gonna leave this in frame, just so you know, she's always watching you.
Even in your sleep.
Even in your sleep. Yep. Grade 2s would be
Fukan.
Fukan.
Yes, so it's a stealth fiend. That's all you have to do.
We play
Silhouette. Lady Silhouette.
4 copies of Flight Sickle. Look at that.
The scariest. It's the scariest stealth fiend, man, because it's fried easy.
And then we play 3 copies of Chakotsugo. This is the real scary one for meta players.
Okay. So I think it's best that we go in order.
Yes.
No, it's go in order starting with Silhouette Lady. So for all the people that didn't manage to buy Silhouette Lady on the day that Ryougi was released, was reviewed, I'm very sorry. But you'll understand why she sold out if you read the skill. So her skill is when placed on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle from hand, only from hand, you count plus 1 and you reveal a grade 2 or lower, a grade 2 or lower stealth fiend.
So like your grade 1s?
Yes, like your grade 1s. I see grade 1s.
They didn't see it, but never mind.
They'll see it later. From your hand, and then you may search your deck for this card with the same name as that card and call it the Rearguard Circle. So of course that's just it's a +1. It's literally just call it the Rearguard Circle. CV1 +1. And then you literally can toolbox any single stealth fiend in your entire deck.
No, you mean your entire hand?
Yeah, in your hand. I mean,
you just need to have a copy.
You just have to have one copy in your hand, and suddenly Shadow Clone Jutsu. Ha ha.
But the thing is, it's from hand. It needs to be called from hand. So you can't use Silhouette, review Silhouette, call Silhouette, call Silhouette. You can't do that.
Yeah. So you can't chain it.
Yeah,
but
you can't.
And also you cannot combo it off a Ryougi calling Silhouette. But if you have a Silhouette in hand, you can copy any one of your stealth fiends and then be able to just immediately fill the board even faster because you have Ryougi's skill and you have her skill. That's already calling 4 rear guards for 2 counter blasts.
Wow.
Yes, and in case you were wondering, that's all the counter blast is that needs is her and Ryougi. So for CB just to build board, I think it's pretty worth it. And her second ability is Shadows is when this unit attack does not hit, so Shadow Stitch only if this unit's attack does not hit. You put this card at the bottom of the deck and you choose one of your opponent's rear guards and you put it at the bottom of the deck. So of course it doesn't bypass resist, but at the same time having spot removal at all is a luxury for this deck. And you can spot remove a bunch of annoying cards and your opponents like their what's an annoying rear guard that I can think of?
Percival?
Percival's not gonna stay on the Rearguard Circle.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Mark Slash.
Suhail.
Full Cavalier.
Maybe all the 7 Seas cards.
I don't know. You can completely make the Witcher's player tilt because you send the main back to deck.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, so there are a lot of things that Silhouette Lady can touch. Board decking is a very strong style of spot removal because it even bypasses things like Malakuf, only stops retire and doesn't stop board decking.
If Malakuf you're concerned, you should not be playing this game. You should not be playing this game, my friend.
Shows the type of matches that I play.
Yes.
Okay, then after that, now we move on to the things that Silhouette Lady can call. So one of them, her best target is Fright Sickle. The Fright Sickle's ability is that when this unit attacks, you may give it 5,000 power. So upstream dragon.
Yes.
But if you give it 5,000 power, it goes to the bottom. But if this card was caught by a card ability,
which counts for stuff like
foreshadowing,
or this.
Yeah, foreshadowing. You may draw a card. So it's a 1-for-1 cycle just for giving it plus. So they're making it a magic number. How great is that? And also, it's also really good that because it's called by card ability, that means you can combo it with Ryougi skill. You don't have to call it using Silhouette. So
yeah.
Even the copy that you have in hand, you can just keep in hand so that you can use it for shield, and then it will cycle it back.
And then you can just cycles back, you can just keep spawning.
Then you can do it again.
Yeah, so it's just nice to have a 14k beater that can reuse itself over multiple times.
Yeah.
It's one of the better stealth fiends in V series. That's not saying a lot, but yeah, it's just something for you to actually consider playing in this deck.
And keep in mind that because we play Ryougi in this deck, every single the magic number for this deck gets a lot easier to achieve because you're reducing your opponent's power by 5. So if there's 7k, means 17. Any unit that is 17 and reach 70,000 power and above is already a magic number.
Yeah.
So this hits 14 on its own. You have a booster is 25, or you have like Ataka is 30. That's already 25k guard for your opponent. Or if it's on the XL, it's a 19 on its own. Haha Suhail, but then that's already a 15k guard as a solo attacker. That's already gonna take out a lot of shield from your opponent's hand, especially if they have to guard this.
Which is not a lot, but then Ryougi also has Shadow Stitch. So.
Yes, so I mean things that at some point your opponent's gonna run out of things the cards that they can use to guard.
So, since we mentioned Ryougi so much, let's actually talk about the Ryougi support that made it in. Jakotsu Girl. This is her 3rd edition reprint because you need to play it.
Yes. So Jakotsu Girl is when this unit's attack does not hit. So it's Shadow Stitch for herself. You may look at the top 7 cards of the deck, and you may add up to 2 cards with Ryougi in their card. 2 Fantasy Storm Battle Ryougi from among them into your hand. So only the original Ryougi. If you play the other Ryougi, it counts itself as Ryougi anyway. So you can still add it, but just keep that in mind that it specifically states for that specific name. So it's not just Ryougi unit. It states for the original Ryougi, the name. And if you only add, and then if you added 0 from the top 7, then you soul charge 1. And if you only add 1 from the top 7, you just add it to hand, but you don't get the soul charge. So it specifies that. Oh no. It's not
0 or 1.
It's not both add to hand. You have to put 1. So if you reveal 2, you have to put 1 to your hand and 1 to your drop. One to your drop.
Yeah, this sets up.
Yeah, but then as we'll get to know later, putting into the drop is exactly what we want also.
Oh yeah, because Ryougi also revives cards from draw.
No, but you can't revive Ryougi. But there are other ways to revive Ryougi.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yes.
that's in the great ones actually.
Okay, so as you can see, Shadow Stitch to +2 is pretty good, and especially it filters through your deck so quickly. If this card, if you play Dragonic Descendant, you understand that deck filtering is deck thinning is deck winning for cards that your opponent doesn't want to guard.
That's not how you spell sweep command.
Man, deck thinning is indeed deck winning for all types of eradicators. So this is an eradicator.
No, it's not. It's a Yasuie.
Yes.
It's Yasuie.
Speaking of cards speaking of needing soul, since the Jakotsu Girl is a conditional soul charge, how about we get some actual soul charge? So we have Stealthy Fukan. It is a direct support, as you can see.
Oh yeah, it's in the art.
Yeah, it's in the art.
And then the grade 1.
There it is. There is. Oh, there's a spoiler alert.
It's spoiler.
Okay,
but, I mean, you've seen it in the card, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah, so her Fukan has a very simple ability. He has a when placed by card ability, he gains 5k until the end of turn. So he's already a magic number, 14k, and he already against the opponent 7k or 12. It's already gonna hit good numbers. And
oh, you mean 13 and 8?
Yeah, but.
Alright, same thing.
Okay, then after that, yes, when this unit attack does not hit, so it's Shadow Stitch for itself, you put it into Soul, and all units with the same name as your all rear guards with the same name as your Vanguard gain 5. So that's where Ryougi's second ability comes into effect. If the units that you called from her ability all have her name, then they will all gain 5k when Fukan goes into Soul. And then if you forget, that also includes the cards that are called by her third ability. So you can use one Fukan early on, then you can use then you can revive a Fukan from the drop zone. Then you can use Fukan again, and suddenly the units that are all called by her ability all gain 10 instead of 5. So against the opponent's 7k Vanguard, it's gonna be very painful.
Yeah.
And also, it also is soul charged, so it's very important for this deck because it's soul like no tomorrow.
Yep.
Yes. Solid grade 2 overall.
Solid grade 2. Moving on to the grade 1s.
Yeah.
We play 4 copies of Ataka, 4 copies of this guy, and 2 copies of Rainy Madam.
So Rainy Madam, I think most people know this card by now, is when any of your units attacks does not hit, you put this unit into your soul, so it has a soul charge once again for Ryougi, is very good, and you add one of the original Shirayuki from your drop zone back to your hand. So
that's why you actually wanted to put it into the drop with Jakotsu Go.
Yes, as well as also if you use Shirayuki to guard the previous turn, you can just add it back to hand. So see, it's a loop. And at the same time, this is also global Shadow Stitch. So any of your units attack does not hit, it will proc. Speaking of global Shadow Stitch, we now get on to probably the best card in this deck, which is Taizan. So Taizan's a bit, it's very cute. And also it's in the art.
Oh yeah, look at him, so sharp. He's like, I'm one of the 2 reasons why you're here.
Yes, of course. He wishes he was.
He wishes.
Okay, so Taizan's ability is that when it's called by a card ability, so same as Fukan, when it's called by a card ability, he gets 5 till the end of turn. So it's a 13k beater, it's an actual magic.
And 13k booster.
13k beater as well as 13k booster. So it's already this line is just Kaiden and Howell again. 27k. Very strong. Very gaming. But other than that, besides being a very good beater, he also has a very, very, very strong Shadow Stitch skill, which is if any of your units attack does not hit, so like Rainy Madame is global Shadow Stitch. You put this unit into your soul, so once again soul charge for Ryougi. You look at the top 7 cards in your deck and you add any grade 3 from among them into your hand and shuffle your deck. Oh yeah, for Taizan and Fukan, they specify that your Vanguard needs to be Shikigami user Ryougi. So you can only do this on grade turn 3 onwards. But that restriction honestly means nothing because of how free this is. And you can add any grade 3 you want. So it means you can add
another
Ryougi, because you need to rewrite, you can add a Shirayuki, or you can add, spoiler alert, you can add Hyuga.
Yeah.
So you can choose to add 15k shield, you can minus your opponent by 5, or you can win the game.
Yes.
That's a win-win in my book. Alright, then of course, since this deck is right Ryougi or lose, we play 4 copies of Ataka. So Ataka, of course, is the grade 3 searcher for Murakamo. I think you've seen him many times already in every Yasuie deck profile you've watched. And his ability to gain 5k is that you have a unit, you have two units with two units with the same name as each other. So or you use median red, wow, very good. Or with Ryougi, because you have units with the same name as her, he's already gonna become 13k. So it's very, very, very good.
Yes.
Oh yeah, then as a footnote, if you're wondering why we're not playing the PR, it's because the PR really doesn't work for Ryougi in my opinion, because your Vanguard is not even a stealth fin. The PR so basically if you didn't know, the PR is
the PR from May, the same
PR
one
from
that was
May
released
it's a stealth fin PR that says when players reveal the top 5 of your deck, and then you may, if all normal units in the top 5 are stealth fins, then you choose one card from among them and you call it to Rearguard Circle. So obviously it lets you cheat out grades. So you can call like Nudo, you can call Jakotsugo on your first turn. But if the skill doesn't proc because your Vanguard's not a stealth fin, or you reveal a Shirayuki and one Shirayuki out of the 4 stealth fins, then the skill doesn't proc. So why chance? And also it doesn't even add the card to your hand, so you can't ungrade stuck yourself. Because the slot that you'll be playing the PI, as you can see, this deck is very tight on space, especially you're playing the Shirayuki engine. So you have to it would be taking the slot of Ataka. And if you're telling me that the PR replaces Ataka, you're very mistaken in this deck. It's good for Niwa Hyuga because Niwa Hyuga herself is a stealth fin, but
yes.
that's besides the point because we're not talking about Niwa Hyuga. So that's why we don't play the PR. The other alternative that you can see in this deck is One Eye Noodle. It's a stealth fin grade 3 that is basically if it has the same if it detects that it has a card on the field with the same name as itself, it gets 2 skills. Number 1, it gains boost. Number 2, it becomes Coral Assault. If you have 5 or more units at the end of your turn. So basically it's like Loading Angel and Coral Assault had a baby.
A very
So-
baby.
So the problem is that, if you haven't been noticing, we have a lot of cards in our deck that either go to soul, or we're gonna call over our units with cards that go to soul. So we're really never ever gonna have a situation where we have 5 or more units on board. And
Yeah,
also,
locked.
and also Nudo is also a grade 3 stealthing, so we can't even use stuff like Silhouette Lady to cheat it out to get the early boost as well as the early draw. So, and there are also much better ways to cycle, like Fright Seeker. Fright Seeker is our easiest way to cycle as compared to Nudo, and it also clears itself on the board. Yeah, it doesn't go to soul, but we have a lot of other ways to go to soul as well.
Yep.
Yes.
Moving on to our grade 0s and triggers, we play one of our starter, 4 PG, 8 crits, and 4 heal. Yep.
Yes. Okay, so heal guards, I think it's very self-explanatory. This deck really doesn't need that much counter blast. So why risk taking the CB early just to soak damage and lose? I think heal guards are very self-explanatory. And also you can search them out using Tyson. So that's already automatically a win-win in my book for the heal guards. We play 8 crit because this deck wants to win, and also because
You want the pressure
also
on Ryougi.
if you're fighting the force matchup, you can also cheat. You can also bait them same way that you do with Ethics Buster, or you can do with any card that has an on hit or on not hit. You pressure them to no guard, and then you get a crit, and then they will laugh at themselves because it's like, oh, I had 4 PGs in my hand, I could have just guarded it. As of course, hindsight is 20/20, and you will still walk away with the VMC trophy.
Not good.
And of course, we play 4 draw PG because this deck does still need some cards in hand like Silhouette Lady, your Ryougi, all your engine pieces still need to get into your hands somehow. And of course, we know we want to stop 7Cs, so we need the PG.
Wait, if you want to stop 7C, should you be playing crit sentinels?
It's okay, bro. Some games,
Starter.
some games they'll just throw the Skull Dragon. Like, oh,
They don't play Skull Dragon.
you never know, man. Could be a new innovation.
New innovation. And that covers our Ryougi deck profile.
I mean, there's probably I hope that you saw that you clicked on this video for the thumbnail and you stayed because the deck was actually interesting, or at least you came away with 2 reasons why you think the deck is interesting.
I mean, the deck is really just more than just nice things to look at. It is a genuinely threatening deck, and especially if you are into actual woman, you may be like, oh no, Yasuie ain't really my thing. You can have the best of both worlds. You can still enjoy the art, and you can still have Shadow Stitch, and it still works perfectly fine. Price wise, I'll say it's not bad. I mean, ignore this. But I mean, price wise, it's actually not bad of an affordable deck. I would say the Shikigami engine is actually the more expensive parts of this deck.
They were reprinted.
They're all reprinted. Bushido reprinted the Shikigami engine twice in the same set as Ryougi, so it's like they're really pointing you in a certain direction. But if you want to play more of a stealth fiend deck, I mean, that's still fine. Right? That means you're not playing the Shikigami package. That's still fine, and you're still ending up costing you about the same, especially because of the fact that every deck with Ryougi is going to be playing Silhouette Lady. It's just that good of a card, and it's one of the more pricier ones. So you'll still end up around the same net sum.
I mean, definitely one upgrade option that you can try is Tamamao. Is Platinum Blonde's Fox Spirit Tamamao, which is because it's a direct stealthy support. It also is a 22k beater against everything that we talked about magic number, right? Tamamao fits that perfectly. It's just the fact that because you're playing Tamamao, you're sacrificing your slots for Ryougi, or you're sacrificing slots for all the other great stealthing cards that we have for non-stealthing. So it's a 50-50. The 22k beater is very strong, but in a vacuum it's very strong. But in practice, the stealthing engine is very lean, it's very consistent, and it also flows really well together to the point that this deck almost becomes unstoppable once you reach 2 to 3 XL.
Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
Stay gaming.